Imagine this, you've just spent weeks designing your dream garden. You've planted vibrant flowers, lush vines, and picture-perfect greenery. Everything looks like a scene straight out of a gardening magazine, until a few weeks later, chaos hits. That beautiful vine you planted? It's now climbing over your fence and strangling your trees. Those cute little ground covers. They've turned into a tangled jungle, suffocating your roses. And that pretty ornamental shrub? Turns out it's toxic to your pets. Sounds like a gardening horror story, right? Unfortunately, it happens all the time, and it all starts with planting the wrong plants. In today's video, we're diving into 15 plants you should never grow in your garden, plants that might look lovely at first, but can quickly turn your green haven into a disaster zone. I'll also show you which plants you can grow instead to keep your garden beautiful, safe, and easy to manage. So grab your gloves, and maybe a notepad, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which plants to avoid like the plague. English ivy, Heterohelix. English ivy might remind you of those beautiful, old European buildings covered in green vines, but in a garden, it's a nightmare. It spreads aggressively by sending out rootlets that cling to any surface they touch, walls, fences, trees, even your house. Over time, this vine suffocates other plants and damages tree bark. It can also harbor pests and make tree trunks more prone to disease. Once it takes hold, it's almost impossible to remove because every little root that remains can regrow. Better alternative, try creeping Jenny or Virginia creeper, they give you the same cascading effect without overwhelming your garden. Mint, Mentha spp. Ah, mint. It smells amazing, it's great for tea, and it's easy to grow, too easy, actually. Mint spreads through underground runners, meaning if you plant it directly in your garden soil, it'll quickly invade every nearby bed. Within months, it'll pop up in your vegetable patch, between pavers, and even across the lawn. It's one of those plants that starts cute and ends up ruling your garden like a tyrant. Pro tip, always grow mint in pots or containers, and never let it touch bare soil. That way, you can still enjoy it without it taking over. Bamboo. Bamboo is often used for privacy screens or a tropical look, but unless you choose the right variety, it's a big mistake. Running bamboo sends underground rhizomes that can travel several feet away from the original plant. Before you know it, your yard, and your neighbors, are full of new shoots. Removing bamboo means digging deep and constantly cutting new growth for years. It's that persistent. Better alternative, go for clumping bamboo varieties like Bambusa multiplex, they grow in neat clusters and stay where you plant them. Morning glory, Ipomoea purpurea. Those colorful trumpet-shaped flowers are stunning, but don't be fooled, morning glory vines are prolific self-seeders. Once they mature, they drop hundreds of seeds that sprout everywhere. They grow rapidly, climbing fences and smothering nearby plants. You might enjoy them one season, but you'll spend the next few seasons just trying to get rid of them. Alternative, try sweet peas or clematis for a climbing flower that's easier to manage. Wisteria. Wisteria is breathtaking when it blooms, those cascading purple flowers look straight out of a fairy tale. But underneath that beauty, it's a monster. The vines are extremely strong, wrapping around anything nearby, including trees, fences, and even roofs, and can cause real structural damage. It also spreads through suckers and can invade large areas quickly. Better alternative, choose American wisteria, Wisteria frutescens, it's less aggressive but just as beautiful. Japanese knotweed, Fallopian japonica. This plant looks innocent at first, tall stems with green leaves and small white flowers, but it's one of the worst invasive plants in the world. Its roots can grow through concrete, damage foundations, and even lower property values. Once it's in your garden, it can take years of professional removal to get rid of. Some countries have strict regulations against planting or transporting it. Alternative, try bamboo mullygrass or switchgrass if you love tall, elegant foliage. Kudzu, Pueraria montana. Known as the vine that ate the South, kudzu grows up to a foot per day under the right conditions. It smothers trees, buildings, and anything else in its way. What starts as a fast-growing ground cover quickly turns into an unstoppable invader. Once kudzu establishes itself, it's nearly impossible to remove completely, it just keeps coming back. Avoid it completely, there's no safe way to control it. Castor bean plant, Ricinus communis. This plant looks tropical and dramatic, but it's highly toxic. Its seeds contain ricin, one of the most poisonous naturally occurring substances. Even small amounts can be deadly to pets, children, and wildlife. While it might make a bold statement in your garden, it's simply not worth the risk. Alternative, try elephant ears, colocasia, or red canna lilies for that same bold, exotic look, minus the danger. Poison ivy, Toxicodendron radicans. We all know the saying, leaves of 3, let it be. Poison ivy causes itchy, painful rashes, and even brushing against it lightly can trigger a reaction. Its oil, urushiol, can stay on your skin, tools, or clothes for days. The problem? Some gardeners accidentally let it grow, mistaking it for an innocent vine. Tip: learn to identify it early and remove it safely with gloves, or better yet, call a professional if it's widespread. Oleander, Nerium oleander. Oleander might be one of the prettiest shrubs you can grow, but it's also one of the deadliest. Every part of the plant, from leaves to flowers, contains toxins that can be fatal if ingested. Even inhaling the smoke from burning oleander clippings can be harmful. It's beautiful, yes, but for families with kids or pets, it's not worth the risk. Alternative, go for hibiscus or bougainvillea, they give similar color without the danger. Tansy, Tanacetum vulgar. Tansy has a long history as an herbal plant, but today it's considered invasive and mildly poisonous. It spreads quickly, forming dense patches that crowd out native species. While it's sometimes used as a natural insect repellent, its toxicity and invasiveness outweigh the benefits. Alternative, try marigolds or chrysanthemums for pest control and bright yellow flowers. Tree of Heaven, Ailanthus altissima. Don't let the name fool you, there's nothing heavenly about this plant. It grows fast, drops countless seeds, and spreads through root suckers. It also releases a chemical into the soil that inhibits the growth of other plants, a phenomenon called allelopathy. Plus, its roots can damage sidewalks and foundations. It's one of the hardest weeds to eliminate once established. Alternative, plant serviceberry or redbud trees for fast-growing shade that won't ruin your soil. Purple loosestrife, Lythrum salicaria. Purple loosestrife looks like a dream, tall spikes of violet flowers that attract pollinators. But beneath the surface, it's an ecological disaster. It invades wetlands and waterways, choking out native plants that local wildlife depends on. Even a few plants can spread quickly through seeds and root fragments. Alternative, choose blazing star, Liatris, or bee balm for pollinator-friendly color without the environmental damage. Water hyacinth, Eichhornia crassipes. This floating aquatic plant looks perfect for ponds, but it multiplies rapidly, covering the water's surface, blocking sunlight and depleting oxygen levels. That means fish and other aquatic life can die off. It's considered one of the world's most invasive aquatic plants. In some regions, it's illegal to own or sell. Alternative, go for lotus or water lilies, which are beautiful and much safer for your pond ecosystem. Yellow toadflax, Linaria vulgaris. At first glance, yellow toadflax, with its cute yellow and orange butter and egg blooms, seems harmless. But once it's in your garden, it spreads rapidly through both seeds and creeping roots. It's incredibly tough and drought-tolerant, making it hard to eradicate. It also crowds out native wildflowers, reducing biodiversity. Alternative, try snapdragons, they offer similar colors and shapes but behave much better. So there you have it, 15 plants that might look beautiful, but can quickly turn your dream garden into a nightmare. Whether they're invasive, toxic, or simply too aggressive, these are the kinds of plants that cause endless headaches for gardeners. Remember, your garden should be a place of balance and harmony, not a constant battle for control. Always do a little research before planting something new. And when in doubt, go for native or non-invasive species, they're better for your garden and the environment. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more gardening tips and plant care guides. And tell me in the comments, have you ever accidentally planted one of these problem plants? What was your experience like? Thanks for watching, and as always, happy gardening.